Hey DKI, it's Take Five time again, and today we're talking equipment. My name is Ken Copeland, Director of Business Development with DKI Pro Supply, and we're talking with Brian Rappold from Phoenix Restoration Equipment. How are you doing today, Brian?
Great, Ken. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you guys here. I mean, you guys have been a partner for a long time, and it's great to get to know a little bit more about Thermostore and Phoenix Equipment. Can you give us a little background on yourself and the company, just kind of how it all started and how it's come together so far?
Yeah, sure. Would love to do that and give you some history on me and Thermostore in general. Probably should start with the company first. So Thermostore goes back a pretty good ways. We had a parent company, is over 100 years old. Um, and we're based in Madison, Wisconsin. The kind of story of how Thermostore evolved was we have a bunch of engineers in a very cold climatology in Madison, Wisconsin. We did a lot of stuff in the dairy industry. We were wasting a lot of heat off of refrigeration systems that were actually storing milk. The engineer said, heat is like gold in Wisconsin. We got to do something with this. So they took that heat and they made good use out of it. They actually did a heat reclaim tank and made a product called the Thermostor. It actually took that waste heat, put it in through a process through a thermal jacket, and actually would heat water holding vessels. So what was really nice was that if you were in a place that had big refrigeration systems and you had a need for hot water, we could give you free hot water, no energy consumption there.
So
So
that answers the question where the name came from. Okay, now
yeah,
that
it was
I'm smarter now. That's
yeah,
right.
it was an actual product. So as the story goes, to get to the history of Thermostor, that was like in the 80s, and we took the product and what little known fact about us, we own 96% of all of that style product at the marketplace. It's patented. Every grocery store chain in the country, every Walmart in the country buys these products called the Thermostore.
Wow.
Still to today. It's not a huge market for us, but it's a consistent market because we own all the share. Uh, so anyhow, as the story goes, we tried to figure out where else we could use these, and residential would be the next sector for us. And we said, hey, let's put these in people's homes. Being in Wisconsin, we tried to put it in someone's basement, and we realized that the AC doesn't run very often, so we had to make its own refrigeration system for it. And accidentally, and doing the marketing, we find out that we were dehumidifying the basement on accident by process of refrigeration. And people loved that their basement didn't stink anymore, and it was a complete accident. So from that, we actually developed a basement dehumidifier that worked better in cooler temperatures, which is by using a heat exchanger and some other things that are novel and turned into things we called LGRs today. And the rest is history. And in the restoration side, Phoenix was born because somebody in the restoration industry found our dehumidifier and said, this is the best dehumidifier on the planet. You need to make it for restoration. And we had no idea what restoration was.
Wow.
Said, okay. And so then we made a Phoenix 200 back in 93 and 94. And here we are as a brand today.
Wow.
Uh, my
Ac-
history, my history with the company, just really quick. I've been this is be going on year 16 for me. I lived at headquarters in the Madison, Wisconsin area. I've relocated to Houston since. I've actually been the sales director for Phoenix uh, for my entire career. We've just grown a lot since then. So even though my name hasn't changed, and my role necessarily hasn't changed, my management of things have changed. So we're a little bit bigger than what we were when I started. So
that
not necessarily kudos to me, just kudos to our marketplace and guys like yourself. So
that's
thank
great. That's great. So accidental engineering is how the whole thing got started, and that's being
you.
at the
Pretty
right
much.
place at the right time. Yeah, that's
Right
awesome.
place, right
Uh,
time.
that's right. So um, Thermistor and DKI have a long history. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, it's really storied, right? Um, our brand really wasn't founded until '94. DKI had been out for 20 years before then, and and DKI has morphed and evolved and changed and continued to grow and lead the way in things. In '94, ironically, was when I believe when DKI started kind of their first kind of franchising style model, and our original roots. And kind of funny to throw this in there, but Larry Carlson is the guy who actually created the brand for us and the name. He was the guy who raised his hand in the room saying, I guess I'll take this product I know nothing about and go to market with it. But Larry, one of the original guys for us, was very close to some of the DKI family's original guys, Frank Hedens, Denny Jensen, amongst other wonderful names that are still thrown around
Yeah.
there today. And we truly had a really great superior product, and we always viewed the DKI guys as the elite of the elite in the restoration field. And what was kind of ironic and funny, DKI helped grow Phoenix as much as anybody did, maybe more than anybody to some degree. That was actually at the contractor level, because as being the elite restoration guys using our equipment, people that were aspiring to be like those guys were looking at what was being used. And a lot of it, especially at the very upper end of the DKI guys, was all Phoenix.
Yeah.
So we pay a lot of homage to DKI guys. We try to support you guys as much as we possibly can, and do all the trade shows, but also at individual level members.
Awesome. So what's the latest at Phoenix? What do you guys have up and coming? I know you talked about the your geotags and a lot of
Yeah,
other things going on. What's the
yeah,
latest at
that's
Phoenix?
really our focus right now. Certainly, we've always strived to be the engineering side, right? We're not the greatest marketing company in the world, which is another, but we're getting better at that, a lot better. Take a look at some of our website presence now, and take a look at some of the stuff that we're doing at trade shows. We got some novel things that are going on, but as far as on both product side, but just idea generation side, we've always got our best ideas from the market. We try not to make something in a bubble as an engineer in a cubicle and say, this is what you guys need. We go out and we actually do field testing, reconnaissance, focus groups, and it was just belabored. And we all know this because it's been tried a lot in the market space already, which is kind of remote monitoring data capturing. Um, we have a different spin on it. We know cost is an important thing. So right now, for the last, well, I say right now, but for the last 2 years, we've put a lot of emphasis on development of products that use Bluetooth as their communication range to speak to an app that we've developed. And the original concept was just to get away from simple pen and paper writing down stuff. And from that original concept, and we've launched a product, DryMax XL. It's been out for 2 years. That was kind of our beta. Say, hey, look, if people like this and are using it, maybe we'll enhance, broaden the scope. And that is exactly what's happened. So the app itself that we have, which is DryLink by Phoenix, you can find it on iOS or Android platforms. It's right now completely free to use and go tool around, and it has some unbelievable advantages and benefits, even for guys that don't currently use our products. It's not intended to take over your entire business management software, but on the drying log and drying side, it can really enhance and print out some amazing reports with just very little data field entry on it. The smart product concept is for it to automatically integrate into that platform, so it actually reduces any error emissions, or even if you couldn't get out to a job, or helps you prioritize your job. So, hey, one
Yeah.
job, Mrs. Jones is 100 miles away, and Mr. Clark is 50 miles in the other direction. We can take a look maybe at what's going on at the job site and say, okay, well, we're good with Mrs. Jones right now. We're just going to go focus on Mrs. Clark. So there's a lot of things that we're doing with it right now. The things that had just come out recently are a dry phone, which is basically like a gateway that can be used for remote monitoring, a dry tag, which is a Bluetooth geolocation basically device
Okay.
that also tells you if I'm running and on and off. Um, we have a we've just updated one of our other dehumidifiers, the Dry Max, the smaller dehumidifier that now has a Bluetooth board on it, so it's another dehumidifier that can now communicate. We have an air mover. The Air Max has a Bluetooth beacon on it, available as a secondary SKU if people are into doing that, not adding their own tag to device. And then we have really two new things coming out very, very soon. And one's called the DryTech RH. So this is something you can add to an existing dehumidifier that's not smart and make it smart. And this is any brand. So you can use it on our stuff, our competitor stuff, whatever. Um, and then we also have a moisture content sensor called DrySense coming out. And all these things will communicate and populate with our stuff. It would be a really deep dive detail into how to get these things to work. But we have webinars on these monthly, and we've actually gone out physically to sites, even in today's crazy COVID environment that we
Yeah.
have going on. We're still getting out there where we're needed.
Yeah.
So that's what's new with us.
Well, that's awesome. And you guys are staying on the front of technology, which is where the industry is going, trying to be more efficient, get things done faster, better, more complete, so that way you're not duplicating things. So, Phoenix again, you're paving the way. And our members, need to know that you guys are there for consulting and for training. You've got the webinars. You can do stuff in person. Anything else you want to talk about before we end this today, or?
I guess I'll add and kind of piggyback on what you just said there, which is, we sell our product is sold through distribution channel,
Yep.
and you guys have wonderful partners of ours as your sponsors. There's multiple companies that carry our stuff, but specifically DKI has a few partners that are really great, and you can make mention of those if you'd like. Um, and that we have great sales folks that are there that know our stuff, but nobody knows our product better than we do. And we're there. We're there for the contractor, for your guys to pick up the phone, to call us, and we can tell you all the ins and outs, help on the product side, but even on application and a job level too. So
Exactly.
we try to be experts in our field. We know our little scope, we know our lane where we stay in, and we're not too bad at that. So our
Awesome.
information is readily available. I've got a team of 6 guys that are out in the field, working all the time with contractors hand in hand. And we're not really the true salesy type guys. We're really there to try to help you consult, because we feel like we have a really good product. You guys will end up, buying it. We're really good at support on that.
Fantastic. And we'll put your contact information at the end of this video. So if any of our members have any questions, they can reach out to you directly. The consulting is huge, because if you have the equipment, using it right is the key, and making sure you get the
Absolutely.
most benefit out of it. To you DCAT members, if you're not project managers, or if you're not involved in the day-to-day business of your field work, please pass this information on, pass the video on to somebody who is, because Phoenix is a great partner. They've been with DKI for a long time, and they'll be with DKI for a much longer time as well. So got a great relationship with these guys. Thank you guys very much. We'll talk to you soon, and have a great day.
Thanks, Ken. Look forward to seeing you at the virtual conference.
That's